Sem frases é past perfect continuous. Ouça essas frases para dominar perfeitamente o pretérito perfeito contínuo. Eu estava estudando quando ele ligou.
I had been studying when he called. I had been studying when he called. I had been studying when he called.
Ela tinha estado trabalhando o dia todo.
She had been working all day. She had been working all day. She had been working all day.
Eles tinham estado jogando futebol.
They had been playing soccer. They had been playing soccer. They had been playing soccer.
Nós tínhamos estado esperando.
We had been waiting. We had been waiting. We had been waiting.
Eu não tinha estado dormindo bem.
I had not been sleeping well. I had not been sleeping well. I had not been sleeping well.
Ele tinha estado correndo.
He had been running. He had been running. He had been running.
Ela tinha estado cozinhando.
She had been cooking. She had been cooking. She had been cooking.
Eles tinham estado treinando.
They had been training. They had been training. They had been training.
Nós tínhamos estado estudando.
We had been studying. We had been studying. We had been studying.
Ela não tinha estado comendo.
She had not been eating. She had not been eating. She had not been eating.
Eu tinha estado ouvindo música.
I had been listening to music. I had been listening to music. I had been listening to music.
Ele tinha estado escrevendo.
He had been writing. He had been writing. He had been writing.
Elas tinham estado praticando.
They had been practicing. They had been practicing. They had been practicing.
Nós tínhamos estado vivendo lá.
We had been living there. We had been living there. We had been living there.
Ele não tinha estado se exercitando.
He had not been exercising. He had not been exercising. He had not been exercising.
Ela tinha estado aprendendo francês.
She had been learning French. She had been learning French. She had been learning French.
Eles tinham estado construindo.
They had been building. They had been building. They had been building.
Nós tínhamos estado trabalhando duro.
We had been working hard. We had been working hard. We had been working hard.
Eu tinha estado me sentindo mal.
I had been feeling sick. I had been feeling sick. I had been feeling sick.
Ela não tinha estado saindo.
She had not been going out. She had not been going out. She had not been going out.
Ele tinha estado viajando muito.
He had been traveling a lot. He had been traveling a lot. He had been traveling a lot.
Elas tinham estado se preparando.
They had been preparing. They had been preparing. They had been preparing.
Nós tínhamos estado melhorando.
We had been improving. We had been improving. We had been improving.
Eu tinha estado pensando nisso.
I had been thinking about it. I had been thinking about it. I had been thinking about it.
Ele não tinha estado dormindo cedo.
He had not been sleeping early. He had not been sleeping early. He had not been sleeping early.
Ela tinha estado ajudando a mãe.
She had been helping her mother. She had been helping her mother. She had been helping her mother.
Eles tinham estado economizando.
They had been saving money. They had been saving money. They had been saving money.
Nós tínhamos estado planejando.
We had been planning. We had been planning. We had been planning.
Eu tinha estado bebendo mais água.
I had been drinking more water. I had been drinking more water. I had been drinking more water.
Ela não tinha estado bebendo café.
She had not been drinking coffee. She had not been drinking coffee. She had not been drinking coffee.
Ele tinha estado consertando o carro.
He had been fixing the car. He had been fixing the car. He had been fixing the car.
Elas tinham estado assistindo séries.
They had been watching series. They had been watching series. They had been watching series.
Nós tínhamos estado aprendendo.
We had been learning. We had been learning. We had been learning.
Eu tinha estado me exercitando.
I had been exercising. I had been exercising. I had been exercising.
Eles não tinham estado se comunicando.
They had not been communicating. They had not been communicating. They had not been communicating.
Ela tinha estado lendo muito.
She had been reading a lot. She had been reading a lot. She had been reading a lot.
Ele tinha estado praticando guitarra.
He had been practicing guitar. He had been practicing guitar. He had been practicing guitar.
Nós tínhamos estado organizando.
We had been organizing. We had been organizing. We had been organizing.
Eu tinha estado tomando aulas.
I had been taking classes. I had been taking classes. I had been taking classes.
Ela não tinha estado trabalhando.
She had not been working. She had not been working. She had not been working.
Eles tinham estado crescendo.
They had been growing. They had been growing. They had been growing.
Nós tínhamos estado comendo bem.
We had been eating well. We had been eating well. We had been eating well.
Eu tinha estado me dedicando.
I had been dedicating myself. I had been dedicating myself. I had been dedicating myself.
Ela tinha estado vivendo no exterior.
She had been living abroad. She had been living abroad. She had been living abroad.
Ele não tinha estado praticando.
He had not been practicing. He had not been practicing. He had not been practicing.
Eles tinham estado estudando.
They had been studying. They had been studying. They had been studying.
Nós tínhamos estado construindo.
We had been building. We had been building. We had been building.
Eu tinha estado ouvindo podcast.
I had been listening to podcasts. I had been listening to podcasts. I had been listening to podcasts.
Ela tinha estado cuidando da saúde.
She had been taking care of her health. She had been taking care of her health. She had been taking care of her health.
Eles não tinham estado colaborando.
They had not been collaborating. They had not been collaborating. They had not been collaborating.
Vais muito bem. Lembra-te de subscrever para teres mais vídeos assim. Continuamos, que vais muito bem. Eu tinha estado tomando mais água.
I had been drinking more water. I had been drinking more water. I had been drinking more water.
Ele tinha estado estudando medicina.
He had been studying medicine. He had been studying medicine. He had been studying medicine.
Elas tinham estado ensinando.
They had been teaching. They had been teaching. They had been teaching.
Nós tínhamos estado treinando juntos.
We had been training together. We had been training together. We had been training together.
Eu não tinha estado comendo bem.
I had not been eating well. I had not been eating well. I had not been eating well.
Ela tinha estado procurando emprego.
She had been looking for a job. She had been looking for a job. She had been looking for a job.
Ele tinha estado dirigindo bastante.
He had been driving a lot. He had been driving a lot. He had been driving a lot.
Eles tinham estado morando juntos.
They had been living together. They had been living together. They had been living together.
Nós tínhamos estado usando mais tech.
We had been using more technology. We had been using more technology. We had been using more technology.
Ela não tinha estado se alimentando bem.
She had not been eating well. She had not been eating well. She had not been eating well.
Eu tinha estado produzindo bastante.
I had been producing a lot. I had been producing a lot. I had been producing a lot.
Ele tinha estado aprendendo a cozinhar.
He had been learning to cook. He had been learning to cook. He had been learning to cook.
Elas tinham estado praticando yoga.
They had been practicing yoga. They had been practicing yoga. They had been practicing yoga.
Nós tínhamos estado crescendo.
We had been growing. We had been growing. We had been growing.
Ele não tinha estado se cuidando.
He had not been taking care of himself. He had not been taking care of himself. He had not been taking care of himself.
Ela tinha estado se preparando.
She had been preparing. She had been preparing. She had been preparing.
Eles tinham estado renovando.
They had been renovating. They had been renovating. They had been renovating.
Nós tínhamos estado aprendendo mais.
We had been learning more. We had been learning more. We had been learning more.
Eu tinha estado dormindo mais cedo.
I had been sleeping earlier. I had been sleeping earlier. I had been sleeping earlier.
Ela não tinha estado saindo.
She had not been leaving the house. She had not been leaving the house. She had not been leaving the house.
Ele tinha estado correndo todo dia.
He had been running every day. He had been running every day. He had been running every day.
Eles tinham estado lendo mais.
They had been reading more. They had been reading more. They had been reading more.
Nós tínhamos estado gastando menos.
We had been spending less. We had been spending less. We had been spending less.
Eu tinha estado fazendo yoga.
I had been doing yoga. I had been doing yoga. I had been doing yoga.
Eles não tinham estado chegando cedo.
They had not been arriving early. They had not been arriving early. They had not been arriving early.
Ela tinha estado crescendo.
She had been growing. She had been growing. She had been growing.
Ele tinha estado construindo sua carreira.
He had been building his career. He had been building his career. He had been building his career.
Elas tinham estado cuidando do jardim.
They had been taking care of the garden. They had been taking care of the garden. They had been taking care of the garden.
Nós tínhamos estado assistindo filmes.
We had been watching movies. We had been watching movies. We had been watching movies.
Eu não tinha estado saindo à noite.
I had not been going out at night. I had not been going out at night. I had not been going out at night.
Ela tinha estado se concentrando.
She had been focusing. She had been focusing. She had been focusing.
Ele tinha estado jogando basquete.
He had been playing basketball. He had been playing basketball. He had been playing basketball.
Eles tinham estado colaborando.
They had been collaborating. They had been collaborating. They had been collaborating.
Nós tínhamos estado nos comunicando.
We had been communicating. We had been communicating. We had been communicating.
Ela não tinha estado fazendo exercícios.
She had not been exercising. She had not been exercising. She had not been exercising.
Eu tinha estado lendo mais.
I had been reading more. I had been reading more. I had been reading more.
Ele tinha estado gerenciando a equipe.
He had been managing the team. He had been managing the team. He had been managing the team.
Elas tinham estado se divertindo.
They had been having fun. They had been having fun. They had been having fun.
Nós tínhamos estado economizando.
We had been saving. We had been saving. We had been saving.
Eu não tinha estado trabalhando à noite.
I had not been working at night. I had not been working at night. I had not been working at night.
Ela tinha estado se dedicando.
She had been dedicating herself. She had been dedicating herself. She had been dedicating herself.
Eles tinham estado preparando a festa.
They had been preparing the party. They had been preparing the party. They had been preparing the party.
Nós tínhamos estado mudando hábitos.
We had been changing habits. We had been changing habits. We had been changing habits.
Eu tinha estado dormindo melhor.
I had been sleeping better. I had been sleeping better. I had been sleeping better.
Ele não tinha estado estudando.
He had not been studying. He had not been studying. He had not been studying.
Ela tinha estado praticando inglês.
She had been practicing English. She had been practicing English. She had been practicing English.
Eles tinham estado viajando.
They had been traveling. They had been traveling. They had been traveling.
Nós tínhamos estado crescendo juntos.
We had been growing together. We had been growing together. We had been growing together.
Eu tinha estado aprendendo habilidades.
I had been learning skills. I had been learning skills. I had been learning skills.
Ela não tinha estado se exercitando.
She had not been exercising enough. She had not been exercising enough. She had not been exercising enough.
Escreve nos comentários qual das frases não sabias para reforçar o que aprendeste, e deixa um like para criarmos mais vídeos assim.